Coming up on the season finale of Cardinals Insider.
Nobody has more heart than this group.
October will be red once again. We head inside the Cardinals Clinching Celebration. And later,
Well, I got 2 young kids, so we've been exploring all the parks and the zoo and all that type of stuff.
I talk baseball and life in St. Louis with Paul Goldschmidt. Welcome to the season finale of Cardinals Insider. I'm your host, Ozzie Smith. We begin the show with a celebration. The Cardinals are heading back to the postseason for the first time since 2015, and our cameras were there for the celebration.
Popped up left side, calling for it, DeYoung, he's got it! And now we can finally say it. The St. Louis Cardinals, champions.
Nobody has more heart than this group. Nobody we're going to play has worked harder, is more prepared, has more heart, has more cojones. Not a one person, not a one team. It's every bit of what I thought. I mean, I'm just taking it all in. I'm just appreciative of the joy that comes with accomplishing something you set out to do, and it's a joy that's really unparalleled.
Never get old. It's amazing to be back in the playoff. I mean, the last 3 years been tough for us, but finally we get back in the playoff. We'll see what happens from now on.
I've been waiting for this for 3 years. Happy to finally do this with our group. Give me 1 second, the sprinklers are going off.
Family, because we're family. We've always been family since the first day in spring training.
Everybody plays with their heart every single second, and that's kind of what keeps us in it, and that's what's going to allow us to go far in this thing. So.
Our season premiere featured a profile of newly acquired first baseman Paul Goldschmidt. 6 months later, Goldie has nearly a full season as a Cardinal under his belt, and an extension which will keep him here through the 2024 season. We talk baseball and life in St. Louis as we go one-on-one. Let's talk about what has made this team successful in the second half of the season.
Honestly, I think our offense has played a lot better. I mean, I felt like we got off to a pretty good start, and the offense, struggled for a bit. And our pitching's been pretty solid almost this whole year, so we were able to score some runs and take the pressure off that pitching. But those guys have carried us most of the year, and thankfully, and hopefully, we'll keep it going.
Coming over here for the first time and experiencing what St. Louis is all about. What can you tell us about St. Louis and what makes St. Louis St. Louis?
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, I was really excited when the trade happened, and knew a couple guys on the team, and then just playing here over the years, just knew what this fan base was like and this organization, its commitment to winning, and it's held true, the outside belief, and then, the city and in general has been very welcoming. It's a great place to live, and just really enjoyed it.
Sometimes getting used to new teammates, how's that transition gone?
It's actually been easier than I thought. I knew coming in it'd be a little different with me being the new guy, but everyone was so welcoming, and this group, had a lot of the guys came up through the Cardinals, minor league system and knew each other, but they welcomed me very quickly. And, once baseball starts, it's baseball. You go out there, you field a ground ball, you hit the ball, you do all that stuff, and but it's been fun to get to know guys off the field as well.
Has the family made the transition, and how do they like being here?
Yeah, they love it. I got 2 young kids, so we've been exploring all the parks and the zoo and all that type of stuff. So, they've loved it. That's probably been maybe the biggest surprise in a good way of how much, I've enjoyed living here and my family as well.
Talk about offense or defense?
Well, defense, if you're here, right?
Has that always been a priority?
The first time it was really a priority for me was when I was in the minor leagues in AA. I feel like the year before I was in A-ball. I was like, I'll just hit and get to the big leagues. And I did. I had a great year and I hit, but I didn't play very well defensively. And the light bulb kind of went off that off season. I was kind of evaluating my game. And I was like, if I'm going to get to the big leagues, I have to be able to play a good first base. I got to be good at defense, because when I get called up, you're not going to rake right away. I mean, as a rookie, it's tough. There are going to be ups and downs. So if I can at least be good defensively, that can keep me in the lineup, keep me around, get more bats and eventually kind of figure it out. There's times you're 0 for 4 and you don't do anything at the plate. Maybe you make a diving play. My favorite play is probably to pick a ball at first base when the shortstop or someone makes a great play.
When you say shortstop, man, it could have been the second base right there.
Well, it could have been anyone. But yeah, I'll catch any ball. I just, relate and I think that's a really cool thing about first base that I enjoy is it's a team position. You're there to help the guys. You're not usually making a play by yourself, and so I enjoy it.
Straight ahead,
I want to keep coming back time after time.
a look at the Cardinals fantasy camp in St. Louis. Plus,
I love being here, and this is just a wonderful franchise.
catch up with Cards fixture Mark DeJean as he prepares for retirement. Cardinals Fantasy Camp gives fans just like you a chance to wear a real uniform and play alongside Cards alumni. This year, there's been a fantasy camp in Jupiter and another in Cooperstown, but the most recent was right here in St. Louis, and the final was played at Busch Stadium.
Good job!
Fantasy camp's our most unique offer to a Cardinals fan. You have the opportunity to really experience the authentic Cardinals experience. You're wearing our uniforms, the birds on the bat, the gray, the white jersey. You're playing with Cardinals alumni. You're experiencing Hall of Fame treatment.
Growing up as a Cardinals fan, it doesn't get any better than getting to play, let alone at Busch Stadium. But even in Jupiter Spring Training Complex, you get to wear the same uniform that your favorite players wear, play on the same field that they play on, and experience what they do every day, and it's absolutely amazing.
I'm numb. It's just unbelievable that I'm going to walk out of that dugout with the birds on the bat on my chest. Unbelievable feeling. I'm going to hold on to this for a long time.
I think my favorite part of fantasy camp is obviously seeing our campers interact with the alumni. These guys are their idols. They grew up watching them. They grew up wishing that they could play with them and idolizing them.
And you'll get hooked. There's so many guys that want to do it. I mean, this is my sixth camp. Unbelievable. I want to keep coming back time after time because of the bonding, but the competitive environment, and you get to wear the birds on the bat, full uniform, full major league experience. It's worth every penny, and I keep doing it over and over again.
This is just, I wish I could bottle the whole experience up. It's just fantastic.
You see them every time you come to the ballpark, and you see their work every time you watch a game on TV too. The Busch Stadium grounds crew maintains one of the best playing surfaces in all of sports. Our own Emily Stevens joined them for a day to see what it takes to keep the grass green in baseball heaven.
The St. Louis Cardinals grounds crew keeps our field looking beautiful all year round. It's a pretty tough job, and today they're letting me join their team. Hey Billy, need some help?
Sure. Here's your official grounds crew floppy hat.
All right, now it's official. You guys are always so styling in these. I'm so excited.
Go grab your drag mat and we'll get after it. Kind of overlap a couple inches from where I am. Make sure you're hitting inside where my drag mat is.
I think they put the slow people in the back.
This is important too.
This is important too?
Right.
They're giving me all the important jobs. Now, I've always wanted to ask this. This kind of looks silly from where the fans sit. We see you guys holding the hose, about 6 guys holding one hose.
Right.
Why is that?
Well, it helps me because I have to get, when I'm watering the dirt, if I have to get out toward the edge, I can't, if I was out there doing it by myself and I'm dragging that hose, and it's going to move all the dirt around and make little waves in the dirt, so we're trying to keep the dirt smooth. So as many guys that can help me carry that and not let it drag on the ground, the better.
When do we get a water break?
Down there.
Okay.
Try and paint a little bit of a warning track follow.
Paint a little bit of it?
Yeah.
Can I do that?
Absolutely. And just remember, if you make it crooked and we have a foul ball that should have been fair, it costs us a run.
Don't put this on me. Am I doing okay? He's laughing down there. He's really laughing.
I'm sorry. You made me snort.
I'm way off.
You're way off.
The painting was a little suspect, but you did okay.
All right, well, thanks again. Thanks again for letting me join you guys. You know where my cubicle is, so let me know if you guys ever need help.
Will do.
It's time for this week's trivia question. Mark DeJohn is retiring after 33 years with the Cardinals organization. What title does he currently hold? Is it roving instructor, field coordinator, farm director, or minor league instructor? The answer when we return. We're back with the answer to this week's trivia question. We asked what Mark DeJohn's current title is. The answer is field coordinator. DeJohn has helped shape countless Cardinals during his 3+ decades in the organization. Plus, he's been a direct connection to the philosophies of George Kissel. Here's more from DeJohn on his storied career.
I had a passion for the game, and like I said, I've always had that since I was 17, and you know, it just kept me going, and I've been very fortunate to be around special people, and like I said, and that's where I've been very fortunate to survive for 49 years in the game and make a living, especially in this organization. What he did was George was signed in 1940 by Branch Rickey, so that'll tell you something. He kept changing with the game, and he didn't stay back in the 1940, 1945 or 50. He just kept changing, and he was an incredible man and just a great teacher, hard worker with great passion. So it was an amazing man to be around, and it's why I came here, and I certainly didn't. That is something I know I didn't make a mistake, because I love being here, and this is just a wonderful franchise.
Minor league field coordinator. He's retiring following 33 years with the Cardinals organization.
I used to tell Tony La Russa that I did my best job managing and Yachty, and he said, really? He said, well, what did you tell him? And I said, absolutely nothing. I just let him play. He was that good. Just the fact that you're in a historic organization with great tradition and everything, and all the people that I've met along the way, from Stan and Tony and Red and Bob Gibson, Lou Brock, to my first year coaching in the big leagues. I was here for Ozzie's last year, so that was really special. It's just the people in this organization that have made it so great.
Coming up next.
The minute I sat down in our seats, my arm went completely paralyzed on the right side.
A life-saving moment at Busch Stadium. In July, Shelter Insurance hosted a day at the ballpark for some of its employees. But something didn't feel quite right for Shelter employee Jill Schneider. She was having a stroke. Busch Stadium's AccuCare paramedics tended to her while the ambulance was en route. Thanks to their quick response, Jill's story has a happy ending. And our Brett McMillan has more.
July 15th, the Cardinals shut out the Pirates 7-0. But that wasn't the most harrowing event of the night at Busch Stadium. Shelter Insurance was hosting an evening at the ballpark for some of its employees. Jill Snyder and her family were in attendance, but their ballpark outing quickly took a turn.
The minute I sat down in our seats, my arm went completely paralyzed on the right side. And I turned to my husband and said that, something was wrong. But then the next thing that I turned to tell him, I had completely lost my speech.
One of Jill's sons went for help, and within minutes, some Busch Stadium AccuCare paramedics were administering early treatment as they waited for the ambulance to arrive.
With stroke, everything is about time. So getting her quickly removed from her seat, quickly to her room, and then quickly to the hospital, everything's about time. In a facility like this, it's a lot of pre-planning. They've gotten together, they've figured out a good plan as to what they want to do, how many people they've got. We're backed up by a full set of physicians out of Barnes, and then our nurses and our docs take care of everything from there.
Just a few short months after her stroke, Schneider's life looks and feels normal again. Thanks in part to the quick work of medical professionals on hand, what could have been a sad story most certainly has a happy ending.
Please head out to the mound to throw out an honorary pitch.
It's the celebration of a second lease on life and the quick actions of some strangers turned friends. For Cardinals Insider, I'm Brett McMillan.
Each game, team physicians provided by Mercy are on call at Busch Stadium. Watching over the players' health is an important job. Here's more on how these docs make sure the Cardinals are always at their best.
The medical care history of the Cardinals is second to none, and so being a part of that team is special. It really is making sure that you understand the needs of each and every player, to understand their medical issues, and to be ahead of those things, and to be there for them whenever they're needed.
We're going to see things because of our relationship with the athletes that maybe a physician won't have the luxury of seeing. So our part is communicating accurately what we're seeing in our initial diagnosis and our initial examinations. We know there are things that are outside of our scope, and that'll go to the doctors to help us then in the process of, do we do further imaging, do we do further workup of any kind, specialists, and that sort of nature, and then together we'll work together to understand the diagnosis and to create a treatment plan to get them back on the field.
We really have a team effort between not only the orthopedist but the training staff, Adam, also the primary care staff, and Dr. Mahaffey. We all kind of work really well together.
The biggest thrill for me is to have, walk in and everyone's, "Hey doc, how you doing?" That to me means that I'm part of the team.
When we return, we relive some of our favorite moments from this season. Stay with us. This episode is coming to a close, but we're always online at cardinals.com/insider. Plus, our YouTube page houses all of our content, including individual stories and past episodes. That's it for today's episode and for Season 4 of Cardinals Insider. Be sure to check out our postseason coverage on the club's YouTube channel and the Cardinals social feeds. We leave you with the sights and sounds of some of our favorite moments from this season. And thanks for watching each week, and we'll see you in March.
We're very pleased to officially announce that Paul Goldschmidt has signed a 5-year extension.
I'm Adam Wainwright. I'm here with my brand new teammate, Andrew Miller.
Who I am, how I am, it's my profile. This is what got me to the position that I am.
Tell us about your motto. Don't think.
Players, these would work. Good looking guy right there, I don't know.
Number 5, first baseman, Albert Pujols.
Scott Rowland and Jason Isringhausen.
Occasionally, there'll be a fan that will have that powder blue jersey.
This is a living room of one of my favorite 2 bedrooms here with an incredible corner view.
We have 680 fixtures that we can individually turn on and off.
And DeYoung can change it with one swing.
I don't even know if that counts as Big Mac. It's almost there. It was, maybe a junior Big Mac.